Okay, so that task is done, and now we can mark that off. And we're completely done with those tasks. Okay, let's go call Prudence Rutherford. And try to call the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. I think we have to call them both from our hotel. Oh, it's nighttime. Oh, well, the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center probably is not going to be open. But we can still try to call Prudence Rutherford. And we can try the Cultural Center in the morning. So, Prudence Rutherford, her number is 1-785-555-7279.
Yes, hello?
Hi, this is Nancy Drew, calling from Washington, D.C. I'm trying to reach Prudence Rutherford, please.
Oh, yes, Franklin told me you'd be calling. Such dreadful news about Beach Hill. I will do everything in my power to help you catch those rapscallions. To think how they violated the sanctity of my domicile. Good heavens!
I'm sorry to hear about your loss. What can you tell me about the necklace?
I can't even think about it. Oh, just the very thought of my precious necklace gone, stranded, orphaned, and in the hands of some dirty stranger makes my blood boil.
Where did you purchase the necklace?
Good heavens, one does not purchase such a piece. I inherited it from my mother-in-law. But you see, the necklace means much more to me than just a handful of priceless rubies.
Did the necklace have a lot of sentimental value?
Yes, I'm afraid it did. I had the necklace restrung to include an exquisite jade carving as the centerpiece, a genuine artifact of the ancient Maya. The carving is not only one of a kind, but a Rutherford family heirloom given to me by my great-grandfather when I was just a little girl.
What does the jade piece look like?
It features a rare glyph. No one's been able to give me a precise translation, but most epigraphers have agreed that it has something to do with a snake, the color green, and the direction south. It's terribly fascinating.
About the theft, where were you when it took place?
At 3 a.m.? Well, I was home, of course, lost in sweet slumber. I don't grace the social circuit the way I used to. That brazen fiend crept right into the bedroom and took my necklace away. Where was I? Picking peaches in the fruit-laden orchards of my dreams. I feel like such a fool.
Do you think the thief or thieves had any idea of what they were stealing?
Oh, they must have known. The rest of my valuables were left untouched. Frankly, I don't know whether to be grateful or insulted.
What about evidence?
The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was this positively ghoulish red handprint on the wall. I nearly jumped out of my skin.
A red handprint was left at the scene of the crime at Beach Hill, too. Ms. Rutherford, I'm almost certain that these robberies were committed by the same person.
But why? What is so special about these carvings?
Miss Rutherford, I'd like you to meet Beach Hill's epigrapher, Henrik Vanderheun. Is there any chance you could fly out to Washington for a couple of days?
I'm afraid that's out of the question. The annual Corn Growers' Ball is just 3 weeks away, and I'm the head of the steering committee. Besides, this whole thing has left me so out of sorts. I'm in no condition to travel.
I understand, Miss Rutherford. Is there any other way you could get me some more detailed information about the jade carving?
I can do better than a photo. The insurance company made this dreadful replica of the necklace with the idea that I would wear such a thing to public functions. Please. But I could send that to you if you'd like.
Oh, that would be wonderful. How soon could you have it here?
You'll have it tomorrow or the next day. My secretary will have the address of the museum. Now, if that is all you would require, young lady, I will need to attend to other pressing matters.
Thanks a million, Miss Rutherford. I won't let you down.
Call me Prudence. Oh, and Nancy, when you find the villains who did this to me, do me a favor and give them a sound thrashing.
You're coming through loud and clear. Bye.
Okay, so we could go to sleep. I might try to call Bess and George and then go to sleep. I don't know if there's anything else we can tell them, but...
Hello?
It's me again.
Nancy Drew, you will never guess who the cat just dragged in.
Who?
Frank and Joe Hardy.
You're kidding. I haven't talked to those two in months.
Let me tell you, they're as cute as ever. George and I were just telling them about your latest case, and... judging by the way they're hovering around me at the moment, I think they want to say hello.
Sure, put them on.
Hi, Nancy, it's Frank.
Frank Hardy, what in the world are you doing in River Heights?
Well, Joe and I just finished up a case out west, and we're taking a few days to drive back to Bayport. So we stopped in River Heights to say hello to our favorite girls.
Well, that's awfully sweet of you.
We should have known you'd be out there chasing trouble.
Joe, is that you?
The one and only. How's it going, Nancy?
Oh, just knee-deep in another case. You know the feeling.
Do we ever? There's one around every corner, isn't there?
You can say that again.
There's one around every corner, isn't there?
All right, Joe. Cheeky as ever, I see.
It's the secret of my irresistible charm.
Oh, brother. Listen, Nancy, we're taking off again tomorrow, but if you want to talk shop about this case, why don't you give us a call on the car phone? The number is 973-555-3393.
Sounds great. I'll do that.
Go get him, Nancy.
Good luck.
Okay, so I forgot that the Hardy Boys are phone contact in this game. I think this is the first game where we are introduced to them. So that's really exciting. I totally forgot about that. Okay, let's go to sleep. And alarm, and then you can set it to whatever time you want to get up. And then we can try calling the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. Okay, Chaco Canyon is 1505 1222.
You've reached the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. The
10
center
a.m.,
is now
okay.
closed. Regular hours are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week, except on major national holidays, when we are closed.
Okay, so we have to wait till 10 a.m. I'm not going to set the alarm again. We will just go back to the hotel and work on the quizzes. First, let's see if there's any new notes or
You have no voicemail.
no voice. Okay. Okay, so, and, okay, yeah, Henrik's not back. Okay. So we were working on the quizzes. The shield, I think the question was about the shield jaguar wife. Okay, so Lady Zoc is that answer. Let's go ahead and put that in.
Henrik!
Wow. So Henrik fell down the stairs.
Amnesia? Wow. Henrik must have taken a real nosedive off that pyramid. Do you think he just fell, Nancy? Or was he pushed? Sounds like you need to find out about hospital visiting hours. Yeah, but you'd better get the lowdown from Joanna first. George is right. She is your supervisor, after all.
Okay, so now we're back in the hotel. And, you know, it's 10 a.m. We're back in the hotel, where this is the only phone we can call the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. So I'm gonna go ahead and call them. And we'll find out about Henrik later.
Chaco Canyon Cultural Center.
Hi, I'm hoping to speak to someone about the theft that happened there recently.
Are you the press?
No, I'm a detective investigating a similar crime in Washington, D.C.
This is Sheila Schultz, the director. What would you like to know?
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from the Beach Hill Museum in Washington, D.C. I understand you had some rare Maya artifacts stolen recently.
That's right. It's a terrible loss, and the police here have no leads.
Beach Hill was robbed too. We lost one of our prized jade carvings.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
I'm wondering if the robberies are connected. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about the incident at Chaco Canyon?
Fire away.
I heard the thief left a red handprint at the scene of the crime. Is that true?
Yes. It was very gruesome. It looked like blood, but according to the police analysis, the print was made with a mercuric sulfide paste.
Do you know of any symbolic meaning attached to a red hand?
Don't walk, don't go there, talk to the hand, as my 15-year-old would say? Really, I haven't the slightest idea.
What types of artifacts did the thief get away with?
Only the center's most prized pieces. The case contained 5 pre-Columbian artifacts that were excavated right from this area.
Which piece would you say is the greatest loss for the center?
Definitely the jade carving. It was highly unusual. There was a glyph on it that no one could translate. Until we hired Henrik Vanderheun, that is. His opinion was that it's Mayan in origin, and that it may have been a place-name glyph for this area. As you can imagine, we regarded it as something of a regional treasure.
Do you know that Henrik Vanderheun works for Beach Hill now?
Yes, I know. His departure was a great loss for us.
Why didn't you mention the connection when I told you I was from Beach Hill?
I guess it didn't seem important.
Was Henrik still working at Chaco Canyon when the theft occurred?
No. It happened just a few days after he left. I remember because after the police left, the staff and I were so depressed, we went into the lounge and pigged out on the rest of Henrik's farewell cake.
Was Henrik on good terms with Chaco Canyon when he left?
Well, it was awfully abrupt. As soon as he heard about that monolith, boom, he was gone. For some reason, he just had to go study it. We weren't exactly happy about it, but it's not like quitting is against the law.
Do you recall having some appraisal work done by an art dealer by the name of Taylor Sinclair?
How could I forget? He went on and on about the impossibly rare artifacts he could get for us. I said, "Are you an art dealer or a smuggler?" But he assured me that the provenance documents would all be in order. Still, I never did any further business with him. He just seemed slippery.
Could you send me a photo of that jade carving so I can take a look at the glyph?
I'm afraid I sent our only print off to the insurance company. They said they'd return it, but who knows when our claim will be processed. I'm sorry.
Thanks a million, Sheila.
Feel free to call if you have any more questions.
Nancy really likes saying thanks a million. Okay, so someone is clearly stealing jade carvings. Prudence Rutherford had a jade carving stolen. Chaco Canyon did, and now Beach Hill all have had jade carvings stolen. So it's something to do with those. And sounds like Chaco Canyon Cultural Center had connections with both Henrik and Taylor Sinclair. So definitely both on our suspect list. Let's check our voicemail.
You have voicemail.
This message is for Nancy Drew. Hi, Nancy. This is Nurse Bluefoot calling from Eleanor Roosevelt Memorial Hospital in regards to Henrik Vanderheun. I believe you're a colleague of his. Since Mr. Vanderheun was admitted, he has repeated your name several times in states of semi-consciousness. As we've been unable to contact any of his family members, we're hoping you might be willing to act as Henrik's support person as he begins the difficult process of restoring his memory. Please call me as soon as possible to discuss this. My direct line is 202-555-4000. Thank you.
Nancy, it's Joanna. The police are done giving me the 3rd degree, but now the board has suspended me. To make a long story short, I'm forbidden to set foot in the museum. Could you please call Franklin Rose and try to reason with him? If we don't get a move on, this exhibit is going straight down the tubes.
To replay messages, press 0. Press 9 for an outside line.
Okay, so I think that this video is going to be a lot of phone conversations. We have to call Franklin Rose, and we have to call Nurse Bluefoot. So Let's call Franklin Rose. Because Joanna has been suspended from the board.
Boswell, Jackson, and Rose, how may I direct your call?
This is Nancy Drew, calling for Franklin Rose, please.
Just a minute, please.
Nancy, you must be psychic. I was just getting ready to call you myself.
Oh, really? Why?
I feel I should apologize for the situation that's going on at the museum, dear. I really did think we were setting you up with a nice little internship, a breather from your casework, but instead it looks like we've fed you to the lions.
Well, in all my travels, I still haven't found a mystery-free zone, Mr. Rose.
Speaking of travel, I got a postcard from your father in Ouagadougou. Apparently, Burkina Faso has become the cultural darling of West Africa. He must be having quite an adventure.
Like father, like daughter. Anyway, Mr. Rose, I'm calling about Joanna.
I think I know what you're going to say, Nancy. Let me be frank. Joanna Riggs has been in the doghouse with the board for months. Her thirst for acclaim has led her to gamble the future and the reputation of Beach Hill time and again. Now that we've lost the Bacall carving, one of our most notable pieces, well, she's just got to be stopped.
Don't you believe she's genuinely concerned about the welfare of the museum?
Good intentions are no substitute for integrity and sound judgment, Nancy. Look, I've got a client waiting, Nancy. What we need now is for you to take up the slack. I've spoken to the rest of the board, and we've agreed that the best thing is to put you in charge.
Oh, Mr. Rose, I'm not qualified to be a curator. I don't have the experience.
Maybe not, but you are the best qualified detective I know, which is just what we need right now. We're counting on you to catch this thief red-handed. Ha ha. Just kidding, kiddo. If you can get the Bacall back, we'll see about giving Ms. Riggs another chance. That seems fair, doesn't it?
It's a deal, Mr. Rose.
Bye, kiddo.
So, Nancy's all alone in the museum because Henrik is in the hospital and Joanna has been banned from the premises. Classic Nancy Drew game. Okay, so, let's call Nurse Bluefoot. And the number is 5554000. A lot of phone
This is
conversations.
Nurse Bluefoot.
Nurse Bluefoot, this is Nancy Drew. You left me a message regarding Henrik Vanderheun. How is he?
Nancy Drew. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I'm so relieved. We've been unable to locate any family members, and we do like amnesia patients to have at least one personal support person when they begin reality orientation.
What's reality orientation?
Well, reality orientation is a kind of treatment that helps a patient get reacquainted with the facts and circumstances of his or her life. Henrik has not actually lost his memory. It's just that his brain is injured in such a way that he can't access the place where the memories are stored.
So, how does he regain access to the storage place?
First, we do repetitive memory exercises to help Henrik relearn the basic facts, like his name and address, the name of his parakeet, if he has one, the date, and so on. Second, we try to stimulate Henrik's sensory memories in order to help trigger or find the way back to his cognitive memories.
What are sensory memories?
A sensory memory is like it sounds, something that is familiar, that you recognize by sight or touch, smell or sound or... Oh, what is that last one? Oh yes, taste. A cognitive memory is something that you know or remember intellectually. For example, how do you know the name of this planet? Somewhere along the way you learn that it's called Earth, and you just remember. But say you bump your head and forget the name of this planet. You don't know where in the solar system you're floating.
That would be most unfortunate.
Exactly. But then I show you a picture of our marvelous blue and green globe. Suddenly you remember. That glorious sight is Earth. I live on the planet Earth. This is how a sensory memory can trigger a cognitive or intellectual one.
I still don't understand where I come in.
You can't help Henrik remember his childhood, but you can probably help him remember his work. And who knows where that will take him. All roads lead to Rome, as they say. One great tool is the Reality Orientation Board. This is a place to post information and pictures for the patient to look at over a period of time. You may want to bring in images or photos to place on the board. Things from the museum, perhaps.
I see. Well, I'll be happy to help in any way I can. When are visiting hours?
Visiting hours are 10 to 4 every day, if the patient is not engaged in treatment and if he seems stable.
Stable how?
Just remember, Henrik's brain has been knocked around like a peanut in its shell. He may have attention difficulties, headaches, anxiety. Sometimes he may seem giddy, too. We need to keep these conditions in check. Don't push him too hard, or he may have some kind of meltdown.
Thanks for the warning, Nurse Bluefoot.
Be well.